In today's episode, we are going to talk about how to train around your period so you can lose more fat, gain more muscle, and just feel better overall. So lately, it's felt like my hormones have just gathered together to sabotage me and my goals and my entire life.
She looks so pretty. Yes, she does.
Shar, did you cut yourself with the scissors? There are drops of blood here.
Wait, it's coming from her.
No, don't tell me.
So for a week or two, I'll be feeling strong and motivated and energetic, only to have my energy levels and strength dramatically plummet shortly after that. And a lot of the time, I would try so hard to just push through, but it just wouldn't work, and I would feel so frustrated. So within the past few months, I learned that I was actually fighting against my body's natural hormonal rhythms, which is counterproductive and not that healthy, and it also slows down your results. So I'm going to explain to you why this happens, and I'm going to show some examples of how to adjust your workouts accordingly. So if you're dealing with these issues too, listen up. First, you want to know the different phases of your cycle and how that affects exercise.
Hey, how's it? What's wrong?
The freaking dog just got her period.
Excuse me?
Oh yeah, Aunt Flo's in Doggy Town. Show over.
Don't say that. We can still compete. I once won a junior gymnastics meet when I had mine.
The menstrual cycle is made up of roughly 28 days, and there are 4 phases: the follicular, ovulatory, luteal, and menstrual. Now, research shows that there are fairly big differences between each phase of the cycle. And over the course of a month, there can be a 25% change in brain chemistry. I know for me, sometimes it feels like a 50% change, maybe even 100% change. So now we're gonna go over what those changes are from phase to phase. All right, so the first half of your cycle is made up of the follicular phase and the ovulatory phase. Now, the follicular phase is the 7 to 10 days after your period, and this is when you're gonna have more energy so you can have better workouts. So you can do more high intensity workouts and really focus on progressive overload and pushing those weights, because right now is when it's easier to build muscle and lose fat. So you wanna take advantage of that. Then we get into the ovulatory phase, which is in the middle of your cycle, about 3 to 4 days. And this is when your testosterone is at its highest. So you wanna go all out and aim to hit PRs. Like, you don't have to, but if you're someone who's really trying to work on your strength, no matter what it is, just go all out. And if you're someone who likes HIIT and intense intervals, now is a great time to be doing that, because you'll be able to recover and you'll have the energy for it. Okay, so then we move into the second half of the cycle, which is the luteal and the menstrual phase. Now, the luteal is the 10 to 14 days between ovulation and your period. And during the first half of this time, you're likely still gonna have pretty good energy levels, so you can keep up your decent workouts. But then further into the luteal phase, your estrogen and testosterone drop, so your energy levels are likely to drop as well. So it's okay if you kind of let your workout slow down and lighten up a little bit. Oh my God. So since my balance is a little wonky today, I'm obviously not feeling 100%, and I'm also feeling a bit dizzy right now. So this is a day where I'm not gonna try to aim to go up in weight, because even though I feel like a wimp and I really, really want to, like, it's annoying. I know in the long run, if I push myself too hard today, then I'll just be more drained tomorrow, and then it's just gonna keep getting worse and worse and worse, and then everything's just gonna keep getting worse. Later in this video, I'm gonna show you some exact examples of how I adjust my weight training workouts through each phase, so keep watching for that. So what you want to remember is that HIIT and intense workouts don't benefit you so much during these phases, during the two phases. So it can actually cause you to lose muscle because your body is under more stress. So that means your cortisol levels are higher, meaning this makes it easier to lose muscle and store body fat, which is most likely not the goal. And research has also shown that we're more likely to get injured towards the end of the luteal phase. So it's really important that you listen to your body. Okay, so now we are at the fourth phase, which is the menstrual phase, and that is the 3 to 7 days of your period. And this is likely when you're gonna have the lowest energy levels. Now, if you get your period for closer to 7 days, you may not feel low energy towards the end. The first few days are likely gonna be when you wanna ease up a little bit with your workouts, but after that, if you're feeling good, you can start to push a little bit more. Now, the key thing here is to always listen to your body. Because there have been times in the follicular and ovulatory phase where, you know, I was supposed to feel strong and energetic and I actually just felt kind of crappy. So in those cases, I still listened to my body and went lighter. So that's kind of the big takeaway here. Okay, so for my first set of barbell lunges, I'm kind of being a little bit cautious because, I don't know, through my whole warm up, I was feeling kind of weak, kind of shaky, kind of achy. Shaky and achy and sulky. So yeah, we're gonna do the first set, 80 pounds for 8 reps. I'm hoping for my working set, well, I mean, this is working set, but I'm hoping for my second or third set to be able to do 95 pounds. So we will see. So now we're gonna move along and show you some exact examples of how to adjust your certain exercises from phase to phase. For this example, I'm going to explain and show you how my barbell hip thrusts fluctuate from phase 1 to 4 and how that affects me when I return back to phase 1 on the next month. So, I started off at the follicular phase, of course, and I did for my hip thrusts here. So I did 155, 165, 170. Then the next week I was feeling pretty decent, so I decided I would start with 165, then I did 165 again, and 170, so a little bit more volume than last week, still going up a bit. Then I moved into the luteal phase, and I definitely noticed that my energy levels were dropping. I was just starting to feel weak, so I was like, okay, I'll start my first set at 135 pounds. I'm gonna really scale it back, because I just felt like so drained. Whoops. Then after the first set, I was like, all right, I'm gonna try to push it up a little bit. So then I did 155. Then after that, my back was feeling a little wonky. That's a big sign for me. As soon as I start to feel like little wonky, this like little weird pains in my back and my hips. So that's always like, okay, that's it. We lighten the weight, we do this. Like never risk it for injuries. So then I did just body weight hip thrust for 20 reps. Then we move into the fourth phase, and I was just feeling like my body, like moving around. I felt like lugging around 1,000,000 pounds. I had no strength, so I was like, okay, we're still gonna do something though. So I did my banded glute bridges, so that's like the band with your feet elevated, and I did 20 reps for all 3 sets. Now keep in mind that for the first few days of your period, if you feel really crappy, low energy, and like you can't do a workout, that's totally fine. It's okay if you need to just rest. You can go for a little bit of light walking, and then stretching may make you feel better, but don't put pressure on yourself to go to the gym and have some tough workout. I had a hard time taking it easy at first because for so long I had the mentality that you had to be pushing your hardest all the time. But in a moment, you're gonna see what can happen if you don't do that and actually listen to your body and your hormones' natural cues. But first, I just want to mention something very, very important, because even though we're listening to our bodies and things aren't the exact same every single week, that does not mean that we're just doing random workouts. It's essential to ensure you're progressing on a series of exercises over time, and to do that, you need consistency in the exercises that you're doing. So this is why it's very important to track your workouts. Now, when I'm in each phase of my cycle, I want to be able to quickly and easily know what exercises, weight, and reps I did last time I was in that phase. Now, I have all my programming for myself and my clients set up on an app called Trainerize, and it's great because the workouts are laid out and you can easily just scroll back and see what you've done.
You have no idea what they're going through. Be a good person, right? So I'm letting her just go off, and she's just like, oh, blah, blah. And then she's like, men are so lucky they don't get their period. Oh, by the way, men would be terrible if they had a period. And I was just like, oh my God, you're so right. You women are so brave and courageous. Us guys, we'd be the worst. You know, all that nonsense. It just would be terrible. And then she goes so far as to say this, especially you, Joe. You'd be terrible on your period. And I couldn't help but interject by saying, hey, you, I'd be awesome on my period. Who are you? Who are you to tell me I couldn't rock a period? I'd be incredible. Are you out of your mind? I'd go one of those apps on my phone to let me know when trouble was on the horizon. Right? I would have, like, eco-friendly tampons, right? You got to go green at that time. Look out for Mother Earth as well. I would find time to exercise even on heavy flow days. And look at me. I'd have a heavy flow. I feel like that's a given.
All right, so we've been through all 4 phases of the 28-day cycle, and now we're gonna look into what happens when you've returned back to the beginning on the next month at the follicular phase again. So I want to check and see what weight I did last time. Now, obviously right now we can kind of see because I wrote it, but you're probably not carrying a whiteboard around with you all the time to the gym, around the house. So you want to have an easier way to look for it. So I have it on my app. So I am just going to bring up my workouts. Okay, so here I'm going to go to hip thrusts, and now I can scroll back and see what I've done because I may remember roughly, but not exactly a full month later. Honestly, I wouldn't remember roughly. I wouldn't remember it all. But even if you have a better memory, still, you want exact reps and everything. So yeah, I know that I did, when I was feeling good back in the follicular phase, I did 185, and I did that for all 3 sets. Now, the reason I was able to make a pretty decent increase was because I listened to my body at the end of my cycle, at the end of my previous cycle, and I didn't overly push myself, because when I do that, when I don't listen to my body, I end up having really bad back pain. So then what would happen is I would get back to the follicular phase, but then my back would hurt, so I'd still have to go light, and that's why I would never keep getting stronger. It's been super frustrating. I feel like crap. I feel like crap. So this time it was different. I let myself recover, so I did 185. Now this was me still kind of like, I could feel like I could probably do more, but I was like, okay, next week is the ovulatory phase. I'm gonna be able to crush it. So this week I'm still gonna like hold it in a little, and then next week I'm gonna go all out. So that's what I did. I did first set of 185, and then I was like, I feel great, it's on. So I went up to 205, I did 8 reps, then 9 reps. In the past, I have done well over that, but again, I've had some back issues, some health issues, my strength's been all over the place, so that's why I'm doing this method to bring it back up. So it's working. Another cool thing I've noticed is that as I get into the luteal and menstrual phase, even though I have to take it easy because of decreasing energy levels, I'm able to do a bit more than the previous time I was in this phase of my cycle. So, as we can see, last time I did body weight for my last rep, or my 3rd set. Whereas this time I was able to do 135 for all 3. Now, even though I did do 155 on this time, the good thing is the total volume of this is actually higher, and that's another awesome thing about Trainerize is it calculates those types of things for you. So at the end of your workout, it's like, oh, you did more, and I was like, oh my gosh. So it's really fun there. Now the next part I haven't actually gotten here yet, but I assume that maybe, depending on how I feel, like I may stay the same, because now I know that the odds of me feeling really strong after this week and coming back here, then when I'm like, you know, back after into another round of the cycle, next time I'm back at the follicular phase, if I really, you know, let my body recover, I'll probably be able to start this at 205, and I may be back to like 215 by the time I get to the ovulatory. So you can just see that this now doesn't need to make me feel guilty, because over here, I'm gonna be like strong. So it's really exciting. Now, even though it gives a nice sense of accomplishment when you're like, oh, I was stronger this period than last period, it's not the goal to try and get stronger. Instead, just focus on other things like squeezing your muscles, kind of feeling the mind-muscle connection, focusing on the form. That's what I do. So on these weeks where I'm going a bit lighter, I just really dial in the form, really like slow down the movement, feel it, and then you feel like you're still getting a solid workout, and you're kind of just training your body in a different type of way. So it's actually beneficial. So how to get started with all of this? Step one is to track your cycle. In order to apply all of the information that we've just gone over, you need to track your cycles to know where you're at within the different phases. I use the app Clue. There's a ton of different apps to choose from. Clue has the option to upgrade to premium, but I've just been using the free portion of the app, which is enough for what I've been tracking and doing. And step two is track your workouts. Right, Baxter? You gotta track your little puppy workouts. You gotta track your exercises, your sets, your reps. You can track this however you'd like, but as you saw, the Trainerize app that my clients and I use makes it super easy. So to access the app, you can join my Knockout Body Elite Coaching group, and I have more information about that in the description box below. And step three is to learn more. I'm still learning more about this topic. I got this information from Elisa Vitti, who is a woman's hormone expert. She has 2 books as well as lots of videos and articles. I've linked some of these below, as well as a playlist I've also created with some of my favorite resources that go into more detail. In the end, the biggest takeaway is that women can't exercise the exact same every single day and expect to see their best results. When you align your exercise with your menstrual cycle, you can finally look and feel your best. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm still in the process of implementing all of this, learning more and more. Eventually, I'd like to do a video about the nutrition aspect, because that's super exciting and interesting as well. So like and subscribe and press the notification bell so you're notified when new videos comes out, so you're notified when new videos come out, and that is it. I will see you guys next Friday. Bye!
Oh my God! Daddy! Daddy, Daddy! Daddy! Daddy!
Hey, what's the matter?
Where's Daddy?
Well, he just left. What's wrong?
I'm hemorrhaging. Hi, Veda. Can you come out? I don't know. Please, it's real hot. Maybe we can go swimming. No. Get out of here. And don't come back for 5 to 7 days.
Okay. That's it. Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah. Oh, that's it.